Hello Internet, welcome to another Monday. This one the 25th of February 2019. Last video of this month, because it's a short one. It's only 28 days. And it's gonna be short in that this segment where I show you my painted figures is going to be very short. The rest of it's gonna be long. But I have in fact only managed to finish one mini completely since last week. It's this Oni sort of ogre mage figure from Stonehaven Miniatures, which I've painted up. And at first I thought, you know, he has this Japanese style armor, which often you see in pictures is a lacquered. And I considered whether I really wanted to do that. I left it bare metal at first because I knew I wanted to use a lot of other colors: the green hair, the blue skin, the red sashes, and the bright red scabbard. But then I thought it looked too boring, and so I just tried a glaze, not painting it fully red and not trying to compete with the other reds on the mini, but just make it, you know, not so boring. And hopefully that worked. I'm not sure. Yeah, but a fun model in any case. And yeah, it's not that I haven't done a lot of painting. I've done tons of painting and prep work. It's just that it just didn't amount to very many completed figs in the end. However, there's a long line of stuff I'm going to show you next that's almost done, that will certainly get done by next week. So this was just a sort of an off week in that regard. Let's move on to that other stuff. As for the remainder of the Oni, I mean, they're almost done. I mean, you can look at these Reaper Bones ones, and I can say these are at least 80% done, maybe 90, depending on how you count it. On Questnef here, there's a little bit more to be done. Just some base coats, and Questnef in halfling form is also a ways to go. But, you know, if I'd only had a few more hours in the day, they could have been done by now. So here's a lot of stuff in the works. We have the hassle-free minis that have been started. They've been primed and undercoated, and I've put down, you might notice some base coats of dark metal here. Not that much else has happened, but the cultists, I've gone ahead and just about put down base coats for every part of them, because they're so simple. And honestly, I find these cultists very fun and simple to paint. They might very well move up in the queue and jump the queue ahead of the hassle-free guys, simply because they go faster. And as for the colors, I tried to match the colors on my previous set. I never wrote down which actual paints I used for the first set of these, but I just tried to match the colors by eye. Dark hoods, sort of turquoise robes, and sort of purplish tentacles, it seems I used. And we'll do something similar. They don't have to match exactly. And yeah, but I feel energized about this project. Fun guys. And here we're looking at some prep work of the next stuff in line, which is the villagers that came with the cultist Kickstarter, and they are sort of like, you see this guy, he's got a chest burster, he's got tentacles coming out of it, and this lady has got a hairdo seemingly made of tentacles, and I've simply cleaned up, based them, put some dirt on the bases, and waiting for that to dry before I prime them. So they're the next project in line. I'm a little concerned about this guy. He's not centered properly on the base. I think that I was looking at him like from above here and aiming with the cloak. I didn't notice that the feet would be off center there, but I tried pulling him off, but the super glue was really, really solid. We'll just run with it and pretend like nothing's happening. Anyway, because there's so much stuff on my plate here, I don't think I need to start up any new project this week. I'm eyeballing a few different ideas for next week, but we'll see when we get around to next week what that will entail. Well, this week I actually got something in the mail that is miniatures related. It's not actual miniatures, but it's a Kickstarter that was for a new airbrush. And so this is the airbrush itself. This is some bonus stuff I got with it. We can take a brief look at this. This is supposed to be a cleaning kit. So it's a cloth and it's various little items, which I'm not sure what all these are. I understand the brushes. This is like you use to clean inside the brush, and there's some extra O-rings, and what these metal bits are, I'm sure I don't know. This is a stand, which is for it to sit in when not painting, and you just simply, these legs go in here, and I'm not sure I'm going to use this because I have the sort of waste water the cleaning thing. I put it in, but well, I don't know, maybe it's sort of useful. Let's have a look at the brush itself. I have opened this and had a little bit of a look at it, but let's do an unboxing anyway. Here's a little bit of a manual, and here's the brush itself, which is simply the body of the brush. The cup is separate, you screw it in, presumably so that you can change cups if you want to use a smaller or bigger one. And I suppose these are some spare parts. Now, what do we have here? Well, it looks sort of like a normal airbrush. I've looked at the videos on the Kickstarter's webpage and where they give some hints about how to use it. And what I learned from that was in those videos, this thing is not on there. You can see the needle in everything he does in the videos. So I'm assuming this cap is simply protection for when not painting. It's not supposed to be on there when in use, even though there is a hole there, so there might be, but I think it would block too much paint, and it would gunk up with paint. Probably it wouldn't work very well. The thing they talk most about in those videos is the trigger tension, how much it snaps back, and this is regulated by not this screw is what holds the needle in place, but this secondary screw here, which you can loosen, and then it, oh yeah, you see it goes back a little slower, or you can tighten it. It doesn't make a huge difference that I've noticed so far. It's just slight, but maybe there's more of a difference when the air is on. I'm not sure. I think I would want this as tight as possible, because I would prefer the trigger to go back very quick, have a lot of resistance. I would actually like if there was more resistance than I'm feeling right now. So because that would make it easier to control the paint flow. Because, you know, depressing the trigger opens up the air, pulling back puts paint into the airflow. So I don't know how much farther I can screw this. There's a couple of things I'm wondering about. In the videos that he has a sort of a quick release connector for the air hose. I don't have that on my air hose for my compressor, so I'm assuming I'm gonna have to. Oops, all of it came loose. That's not supposed to happen. But if I hold this and just unscrew that, yeah, this looks like it would connect up to the hose from my compressor. We'll have to try that out. So that's probably is that. Then we have this little thing here at the end, which you see there's a marker and there's numbers, and the manual talks about this, how you can push this thing in and then turn this dial and it does something, and you can remove it by pulling this out again. You see it goes in and it goes out. What does it actually do? Well, I don't know. If we look at, okay, here's what it says in the manual. It's the quick fix paint adjustment. Press the button to activate the quick fix function. Yes, yeah. Turn to set the desired lever/paint volume. I suppose that's supposed to be volume. They missed an L. Limit. The scale indicates the saved value. Just pull backwards to delete the setting. Press the button again to reset the setting. Okay. What does that mean? What is the lever paint volume limit? Is it sort of, does it limit? What I'm hoping it means is that if you have a lower number here, then there's less paint will come out on a fully depressed trigger, which would let you control the flow of paint, have thinner or broader lines without having to be so sensitive on the trigger. You could just set it to, if you want a fine line, you set it to the minimum and then you just pull back and you get it. I'm hoping that's what it is. It seems like that might be what it's for. I'll have to test it out. I don't, because the text itself is not very clear. Right. So this seems promising, and I will have to try it out in the coming weeks. I don't have anything immediate that I need to paint with the airbrush, but I can, you know, just try it out on paper or something like that. Anyway, that was, well, an extensive unboxing for you of this new item. And it's the end of my video for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. We will be back in a week with new stuff. Until then, just click like, subscribe, comment, share, all that fun YouTube stuff. See you next week. Till then, I'm Doc Eon signing off.